The Independent National Electoral Commission says it continues to receive letters of intent from groups seeking to register new political parties ahead of the 2027 general election. INEC National Commissioner, Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, revealed that with these new submissions, the total number of associations currently seeking approval to become registered political parties has risen to 144. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us to discuss efforts by more associations to seek INEC's approval for registration as political parties and the need to toughen the registration requirements to prevent an overcrowded political space. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's a pleasure of being here, right?
Should INEC be worrying more about overcrowding the space, or rather giving people the opportunity to congregate, form political parties if they believe that their ideologies will change Nigeria for the better?
Well, but you see, you can create an open space or a level playing field. But 155 is just too many. Look at the last election. You see the parties there. I'm sure some of them did not get up to 100,000 votes, and they were there. And people knew the parties they were looking for. They are not up to 4 or 5. So they should do some sifting. They should do serious.
Well, how do you balance it? How do you balance it without disenfranchising people?
Disenfranchisement does not come in now. We are talking of registration. You cannot, you see, you cannot bring in everybody.
Yeah.
So you can look at the substance of their presentation. What do they want? What ideological orientation do they have? What goal are they pursuing? That's interest articulation. It should be discernible in the sort of application they bring. And INEC should scrutinize. And if they find that it is the same sort of people migrating from one party to the other, they should disqualify them. And if those parties who did not perform well in the last election, they should be called to explain why, and told that they should go and re-energize or reformulate whatever they have to offer the electorate before coming back. There's a need for serious sifting.
It's very important, but you also think, like you rightly said, 155 is a large number. Do you think this gives us a very, very plain look at the real problems we're facing as a country in terms of division? Because you think about the fact that there's 155 possible political parties that want to form, whereas this 155, if they come together and possibly agree, could be 5 or 6 or 7. But everybody feels what they want to offer is different from the next.
See, you are trying to take them seriously. You got me? But you see, you know the Nigerian mentality. If you eventually become a political party, you get some grant. Do you get me? People are after such things. It has been proven. And you see, look at all our elections. Look at the number of parties. And look at the number of parties that people really know. So some sifting has to be done. Or maybe they give a deadline. By the time you have 50 applications, you are not taking on anymore. If you want to still insist on having your party registered, you have to fuse. There must be amalgamation of these interest groups. You can't have 155. Whether is it a jamboree? You are talking of an election. You see, some people are not even taking the process seriously. The democracy is a game of numbers, but there are numbers and there are numbers, and there are interests and there are interests. So what you are trying to infer, that the disenfranchised people, that is not how we are to disenfranchise. It's like the voting stage that is disenfranchised, not registration.
Probably, duly noted. Yes. But if I were to ask, of course I know that the number we're talking about right now is a little bit...
On the high side.
Yes, on the high side, and it's an overreach. But if we were to cast our mind back and look at the trajectory of political parties here in Nigeria, so just imagine if at a certain time, INEC would have looked at ADC and said, ADC, probably you haven't really rocked the boat in terms of
the application is here. The application is with INEC, and they are saying INEC held the meeting. They have not said anything about the application. You see, we are talking of registration. We are talking of alignment of forces.
Yes.
Margin
no,
of
where I was even going with that is okay. Or probably if we were to look at APC, right, for example, or
the party in power.
Yes, the party in power.
So
But now we're dialing back years ago before the party was actually formed, and it had smaller mushroom parties, the CPCs of this world, and others come together, converge. If probably they had knocked out all those parties,
where would they be today?
Where would they be today? And when you look at some other parties, at the same time, Labour Party wasn't a force to be reckoned with in the Nigerian political sphere.
But it surprised everybody.
But exactly. So how can you tell the future without a crystal ball?
Don't forget that Labour Party has always been there.
Without a doubt.
But it was at the last minute.
Yes.
It was snatched for the contest by Obi.
Yes, I agreed. Because if we're talking about the times of Mimiko, and if you probably look at Zenith's Labour Party, for example.
Those are established parties. We are talking of registration now.
Yes.
You see, even at the House, there's a bill going on, which will be an article of said they don't agree with, to remove some responsibilities from INEC, so that they can face election management. Things like regulation, registration, they want a commission for that. That one is debatable. But it is when we are asked to look at it that I will make a comment on it. But INEC itself is doing as if it is presiding over a jamboree. It has never used its authority to deter people from electoral malpractices. Whereas it has the power. Now, the law is there that you don't start campaigning until 150 days to an election. And you stop it 24. And everybody is literally doing that. What is he doing about that? There is need for INEC to ensure compliance with its rules and to take decisions or punish people so that it deters them. Everybody is campaigning. It should tell them that nobody should mention 2027 for now, including government. Call them to order.
That's a valid point. But I want to say this, what exactly is the worst that could happen with these numbers? Because, for instance, Nigeria is amongst countries with multi-party systems. Nigeria possibly even has the least number. Indonesia, for instance, India, these are countries with over 500 registered political parties. So if at all they do register, what is the worst that could happen?
You mentioned, Indonesia, those who are there,
Philippines,
the big parties.
South Africa.
Congress
also has more parties than we do. So if at all these 155 parties say they want to come and register, what's the worst that could possibly happen?
Look, invariably, they merge into one or two groups. Like in the US, you see the Democratic Party is made up of so many caucuses and interest groups and unions, but teachers, unions.
But we run a different system.
But they know, literally, but for Obi that emerged now, we have literally three parties. We had only two parties before. And
just to correct, sorry, before we go, sir, because you mentioned something about ADCB not being registered, and it got me confused a little bit.
No, they have submitted an application.
But ADC is a registered political party amongst the 18 political parties being registered in Nigeria.
But they have an application that some people want to use it. So that's like a merger.
Yes, a merger, but it is a registered party.
But that application of the people merging with it is before INEC.
Yes, sir.
Read the papers. They are saying that INEC held the meeting and they ignored their arrangement.
All right.
It's part of the registration process.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
We've overshot our time already.
Thank you so much for your time.